Hello everyone, a very welcome to Vyas Edification Kota. So today in the series of NCERT discussion, we are going to take in a very interesting chapter, a good chapter, a beautiful chapter and a knowledgeable chapter as well, that is Animal Kingdom. This chapter is from 11th standard and it is 4th number chapter in your NCERT, and this chapter is actually containing total 15 questions in it. So in the series of NCERT discussion, we are going to discuss each and every question in detail. And let's begin with this. That is first question on the screen. What are the difficulties that you would face in classification of animals if common fundamental features are not taken into account? So first of all, what are the fundamental features? This question is asking about what difficulties would you find if the fundamental features is not taken into account for the classification system of animals. So first of all, you need to understand what are the fundamental features first of all. So we know from the knowledge of animal kingdom, as we have already studied, I hope you all studied the animal kingdom. So we know that what are the fundamental features included in the animal kingdom and are the basis of classification for animals. So we know that we already studied about the cellular organization, alright, organization of the body. We already have talked about, or we already know the symmetry, body symmetry, the presence of coelom, the presence of germinal or embryonic layers. Alright, all these common features, whether they are present in some organisms or whether they are absent in organisms. On the basis of presence of fundamental characters or features, we classify different kind of organisms into their respective categories. So these are the fundamental features first of all. Now this question is asking what are the difficulties that you would face in classification of animals if common fundamental features are not taken into account. Now as we know that we have a huge diversity, we have a numerous kind of animals on earth present right now. So we have a huge diversity of animal, huge diversity of all living organisms. I must say we have not of only animals, we have a huge diversity. If we talk about plants, if we talk about bacteria, if we talk about other animals, other organisms, fungi and algae, all of these animals, all of these organisms including protists, all that. So we have a huge diversity on our earth. So if we don't consider any system or on any basis, but if we don't consider the common features, common fundamental features, if we don't take the common fundamental features into account to classify different organisms, then it would be just impossible to study the organisms at individual level. It would be impossible. It would be impossible to study each and every organism as we have a huge diversity. Even in the plant kingdom, we have a huge diversity of animals. So it would be not easy, it would be just impossible to study each and every organism at individual level. Also, if we do not take common fundamental feature as into account to classify different kind of animals, then we cannot find evolutionary relationship, we cannot find the interrelationship between different kind of animals. This is also a drawback if we do not take common fundamental features into an account to classify different kind of animals. Also, a huge diversity of animals we have, then it would be impossible to take all the animals as a picture. We could not find the pictures, we could not see or we could not imagine the animals, we could not imagine their characters, the physical appearance. So it would be impossible to classify the animals into different categories. Also, the last but not least, we cannot find the animals into different categories. We did not put them into different categories on the basis of either the morphological, physiological, and also we could not find the evolutionary relationship and the development of new species. Alright, so these all are the reasons if we do not consider the common features, common fundamental features or characters to classify different kind of animals. So this was the answer, and let's write about this answer. As this question is asking about if the common fundamental feature is not taken into account to classify different kind of animals into different categories. So first of all, we will write that the answer will goes like we have a huge diversity. All right, we have huge diversity of living organisms, and animals as well. If we do not consider the common fundamental features for classification, then it would be impossible to classify or study. It would be just impossible to study and even to classify the organisms or animals into different categories. It will be impossible to study the animals, as we are talking about only animals in this chapter, so we'll write animals. It would be impossible to study the animals at individual level. All right. Also, we could not find the interrelationship between different animals. All right. Also, we cannot take pictures at a glance of all animals, and we cannot find the development. The last but not least, we cannot find the development of animals. So this is the complete answer of question number 1 here on the screen. Now we have a second question on the screen. If you are given a specimen, what are the steps that you would follow to classify it? So the question is asking, if we are provided with a specimen, then how or what are the basic steps to classify that organism into its respective category? So first of all, what we are going to do, we know that there are some fundamental features. There are various kind of common fundamental features we have in the classification system of animals, such as what type of symmetry is present in them, what type of coelom they are exhibiting, what type of symmetry they are exhibiting, what type of organization is present in them, if or whether the coelom body cavity is present in them or not. So these are the basic fundamental features, fundamental characters on which or with the help of which we actually can classify the different organisms into their respective categories. All right. So what we are going to do, if we are provided with a specimen, the steps would be follows as, first of all what we are going to do, the answer would be like this: there are various common fundamental features by which we classify the given specimen into its respective category. So what are going to be these categories? First, we'll consider the level of organization. Now, we know that we have two types of level of organization, or three maybe. So, if we talk about the level of organization, the first phylum of animal kingdom, that is Porifera, phylum Porifera, including all the sponges, are exhibiting cellular level of organization. So, first is we have cellular level of organization. Cellular level of organization, which is found in the primitive animals, most primitive animals of the animal kingdom, that is sponges, which are belonging to the very first phylum of animal kingdom, that is phylum Porifera. Then next, if we talk about, we have tissue level of organization. Tissue level of organization. Also in this we have organ level of organization. Organ level of organization. And the last in this we have organ system. Organ system level of organization. Alright. Now, this is the number one feature on which we can decide or put the given specimen into its respective category. Now, also we have type of symmetry. Type of symmetry. The specimen is actually exhibiting. So, we have two types of symmetry basically, that is radial symmetry as well as bilateral symmetry. And if any organism is not exhibiting any kind of symmetry, then it is known as to be asymmetrical organism. Now, next common fundamental feature we want to take to classify the given specimen into its respective category would be the presence of coelom. Coelom. Now, what is coelom? You all know that a fluid-filled cavity is present. We have a fluid-filled cavity present in our body between the body wall and a gut wall. If any animal is having a fluid-filled cavity between the body wall and a gut wall, then the animal is said to be coelomate animal. because there is a presence of true cavity which is filled with the fluid. That cavity must be present between your body wall and a gut wall. That cavity is filled with the fluid and is known as coelomic cavity. That cavity is known as coelomic cavity, and if any animal is having that cavity is known as coelomate animal. If any animal is having cavity but the cavity is not lined by mesoderm, then the cavity is said to be pseudocoelomic cavity, and the animal exhibiting or having pseudocoelomic cavity is known as pseudocoelomate, as in Aschelminthes. If any animal is having no cavity between the body wall and gut wall, then they are known to be acoelomate animals. For example, Platyhelminthes, and we are the example of coelomate animals because we have a true cavity between our body wall and gut wall. So coelom, in the coelom we have coelomate animals. Coelomate animals. Next we have is pseudocoelomate. Pseudocoelomate. And the last one is acoelomate, in which there is no cavity present in between their wall, body wall and gut wall. So this is the complete answer. This is the complete solution for question number 2 of animal kingdom. Now we have a question number 3 on the screen. How useful is the study of the nature of body cavity? They are talking about coelom. How useful is the study of the nature of body cavity and coelom in the classification of animals? Alright. So you all are aware of what is body cavity or what is actually coelom. So we know that what is coelom. Coelom or coelomic cavity or body cavity is actually the cavity or a space which is fluid filled and is present between the gut wall of our digestive tract and the body wall. So the simple definition of coelom is the space which is filled with fluid and is present between the body wall and the digestive tract wall or gut wall. The space is known to be coelomic cavity or body cavity. This is the simple definition of coelom. Then the question is asking that the study, how useful is the study of coelomic cavity in the animals? It is very important, very, very important. The study of nature of coelomic cavity in different animals is very important, as we know that what is coelomic cavity, and the coelomic cavity is basically of 3 types. Alright, on the basis of presence of coelomic cavity, what kind of coelomic cavity is present in animal and whether the animal have coelomic cavity or not, on the basis of presence of this thing, on the basis of presence of cavity, body cavity or coelomic cavity, we can classify different animals into different categories. So for this fundamental feature, which is a fundamental feature, coelomic cavity is a fundamental feature, and this sets the basis for classification of animal kingdom. So coelomic cavity, if you are talking about, then we have first of all we will write what is coelomic cavity. So coelomic cavity is the fluid filled space present between the body wall and the gut wall of animal. So this is the simple definition of coelomic cavity. Then now we have a coelomic cavity as a fundamental feature which sets the basis of classification for all animals in the whole animal kingdom. We have 3 types of cavity. That is, very first we have is coelomic cavity. or the animals are classified on the basis of presence of coelom or the type of coelom present in them. First category of animal is known as coelomate animals. So first category we have is of coelomate animals. Now in these animals, what happens? They have true cavity. They have true cavity. They have true cavity. That means they have body cavity between the wall, their body wall and gut wall. That body cavity is filled with fluid, and the cavity is lined by mesoderm. This kind of cavity having lined by mesoderm, this kind of cavity is actually the true cavity, true coelomic cavity, and the animals exhibiting this kind of coelomic cavity are known as true coelomate animals or coelomate animals. For example, we have some phyla in the animal kingdom who have true coelomic cavity, such as mollusks, arthropods, echinoderms, and chordates. We are chordates. So chordates have true coelomic cavity. Then we have pseudocoelomate animals. Now what happens in them? They also have a cavity. True cavity. Sorry, no, not true cavity. They also have a cavity. They also have a cavity which is filled with the fluid and is present between the body wall and gut wall. Now, but most important thing is, the cavity is not lined by mesoderm and is present in the coelom as scattered pouches. You will find scattered pouches of mesoderm into the coelomic cavity of some animals. These kind of animals are known as pseudocoelomate animals, and the cavity is known as pseudocoelomic cavity. For example, we have Aschelminthes, which are the roundworms. They exhibit this kind of cavity. They have cavity in them. Roundworms have coelomic cavity in their body, but the cavity is not lined by mesoderm, as well as in their cavity you can find the mesoderm which is scattered and in a pouch-like structure. Alright, so this kind of cavity is known as pseudocoelomate cavity, and the animals having this kind of cavity are known as pseudocoelomate animals. Last one we have is acoelomate kind of animals. Acoelomate animals. Now what does the animal have? They do not have any cavity. You will find absence of cavity in them. There is no cavity present between their body wall and their gut wall. For example, we have platyhelminthes. Flatworms, they are dorso-ventrally flattened. Their body is actually dorso-ventrally flattened. So there is no chance of having cavity between their body wall and gut wall. So I hope you are clear with this, that what is coelomic cavity? Coelomic cavity is the cavity or a space which is fluid filled and is present between the body wall and gut wall. And on the basis of presence of cavity, this coelomic cavity, we classified the animals into 3 different categories, such as coelomate animals, pseudocoelomate animals and acoelomate animals. In coelomate animals, they have true cavity which is lined by mesoderm. They are known as coelomate animals. For example, we have mollusks, arthropods, echinoderms, chordates. And if we talk about the next one, that is pseudocoelomate animals, they are having cavity, but the cavity is not lined by mesoderm. Rather, it is present in the pouch form and is scattered in the cavity. They are known as pseudocoelomate animals, and the example we have is escalmenthes, roundworms. And the last one we have is acoelomate category of animals, in which all the animals who do not have cavity, who do not have coelomic cavity between their body wall and gut wall, are put into this category and are known as acoelomate animals. For example, we have platyhelminthes because they are dorso-ventrally flattened and there is no chance of having cavity in their body. So this is the complete solution of question number 3. Our next question we have is question number 4 on the screen, that is distinguish between intracellular and extracellular digestion. Now we have to clearly distinguish or differentiate between the intracellular as well as extracellular digestion. Now you know that what is digestion? Digestion is a process by which we break down the complex food substances into simpler forms to easily digest them and to get nutrition easily. So this is a process occurring in all of the animals, Now we have 2 kind of digestions, that is intracellular digestion as well as we have extracellular digestion. We humans are exhibiting or having extracellular digestion. Extracellular digestion is actually an advanced type of digestion, whereas if we talk about the intracellular one, this is a primitive kind of digestion. Now we are clear with this that intracellular digestion is found in primitive organisms like unicellular organisms, unicellular animals such as poriferans. Poriferans are not unicellular organisms, but they are primitive animals. And the intracellular digestion is a type of primitive digestion. So it can be found in primitive animals of animal kingdom. And the extracellular digestion, which is the most advanced type of digestion, can be found in chordates like in humans. So now let's discuss what is the basic differences between intracellular digestion and extracellular digestion. So first of all, we are going to decide where the digestion takes place. If in case of intracellular digestion, this kind of digestion occurs inside the cell. The digestion of food is occurring inside the cell of any animal, then this kind of digestion is said to be intracellular digestion. Intracellular means inside the cell, So the digestion, any kind of digestion or any animal is having digestion process done inside their cell, then the digestion is said to be intracellular digestion. And if we talk about the extracellular digestion, that kind of digestion or the breaking down of complex substances present in the food is happening inside the lumen or the space of an alimentary canal or digestive tract outside the cell, then is known as extracellular digestion. For example, we have alimentary canal, or we can say we have digestive tract. We know that digestive tract or alimentary canal is just a long tube with varying diameters in up to a certain regions. The alimentary canal or digestive tract is just a long tube with varying diameters at certain positions, forming different kind of organs. Alright, so we know that if you're talking about the digestive system or alimentary canal, there is a space, there is a lumen present inside the digestive tract or alimentary canal. That space is known as lumen of alimentary canal, and the food digestion, the breaking down of food digestion is happening inside the lumen of alimentary canal in us. This kind of digestion, when occurring outside the cell into the lumen of alimentary canal or digestive tract, is known as extracellular digestion. So the very first distinguished feature or character is intracellular digestion occurs, or the food digestion when occurs inside the cell, it is known as intracellular digestion. If any digestion is having or occurring outside the cell into the lumen of digestive tract or alimentary canal, then this type of digestion is said to be extracellular digestion. Alright. Let's come towards the next comparing feature between intracellular digestion and extracellular digestion. The digestive enzymes in case of intracellular digestion, I am talking about the intracellular one. The digestive enzymes, we know that for a process of digestion, for breaking down of complex substances into simpler ones, we need a lot of enzymes. A lot of enzymes we need, a body needs a lot of enzyme to break down these complex substances into simpler ones. So these digestive enzymes, in case of intracellular digestion, these digestive enzymes are secreted by cytoplasm itself, because there is only one cell present in them. So all of the digestive enzymes in case of intracellular digestion are secreted from cytoplasm into the food vacuole. Whereas if we talk about the extracellular digestion, what happens in them? They also need digestive enzymes. These digestive enzymes in case of extracellular digestion are secreted by specialized cells into the lumen of alimentary canal. So this is also a distinguishable feature between intracellular digestion and extracellular digestion. Then come towards the third distinguishable feature between intracellular and extracellular digestion, that the digestive products, of course, after digestion, the digestive products in case of extracellular digestion will go into the different organs, different body parts, crossing the wall of your intestine. In case of extracellular digestion, the digestive products will go into the intestine and they cross the wall of intestine. They will go into the different parts of your body or to the targeted organs. But in case of intracellular digestion, the digestive products will remain into the cytoplasm, Then the intracellular digestion is not so good. It is not so good, and the extracellular digestion is an advanced type of digestion and beneficial. Of course, if we talk about the kind of organisms, which organism or which animal is exhibiting the intracellular digestion and which animal is exhibiting extracellular digestion, then the intracellular digestion is usually done by primitive animals or unicellular animals. And in case of extracellular digestion, we have example advanced animals. Alright, those animals or those phyla included in the animal kingdom who have complete alimentary canal. So if the body plan of any animal is tube within tube body, then they are having extracellular digestion. Even if animal is having blind sac body plan, then of course the digestion is said to be extracellular digestion. So what is going to be right? We are going to be right that the differences between intracellular and extracellular. So in the left column, we are going to write about intracellular one, and here we are going to write about extracellular. Alright, so the very first point which can distinguish about between the intracellular and extracellular digestion is that the digestion of food. Of course, the digestion is going to be of the food. The digestion of food occurs inside the cell. Inside the cell. And in case of extracellular, it will happen. It will happen in the lumen of alimentary canal. Alimentary canal. Second is the digestive enzymes. Digestive enzymes secreted from cytoplasm into the food vacuole. Into the food vacuole, of course. And in case of extracellular, the digestive enzymes are secreted by specialized cells into the lumen of alimentary canal, where the digestion is going to be take place. The third one we have is digestive products. Digestive products will remain into the cytoplasm, and in case of extracellular digestion, the digestive products will go to their targeted organ, will go to the different parts of body, of course. If we talk about the example, this type of digestion is exhibited by unicellular or the primitive organisms, primitive ones. And in case of extracellular digestion, this is going to happen in advanced animals. Advanced animals or multicellular animals. Multicellular animals. So I hope you are clear with the distinguishable features or the features which can distinguish between intracellular digestion and extracellular digestion. So here is the complete solution of question number 4. Now let's come towards the next question, that is question number 5. What is the difference between direct and indirect development? So we have to tell the difference between indirect and direct development. Now I hope you all know that what is direct and indirect development. If no, then the answer is indirect development is a kind of development in which the organism gives birth to young one. When after fertilization, what happens in the sexually reproducing organism? We know that the gametic formation takes place. After the formation of gametes, these gametes are going to be fertilized with each other. Now after the fertilization, we know that the development or the production of single celled structure is going to take place, which is diploid in nature, that is zygote, and that zygote is going to transform into embryo. Now in all sexually reproducing organism, what can happen is, in some of the animals, in some of the sexually reproducing organism, that embryo will transform into a different kind of stage and is not going to transform into adult directly. If any sexually reproducing organism embryo is not going to transform into adult directly and is developing into a larval stage, is going to develop into a larva, less developed larva, and then this larva is going to develop into an adult human being, then this kind of development is known as indirect development, because an intermediate stage, a larval stage is present in them, in their cycle. The larval stage is present in them. The larva when the larva is present, the larva have different food requirements, and also an important term here is metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is a phenomena in which the larva is going to be transformed or is going to be developed into an adult individual. This phenomena is known as metamorphosis. So I hope it is clear that what is indirect development. It is indirect development. What happens? Any individual, if any embryo of any individual is going to transform into larval stage, then after into adult stage, this kind of development is known as indirect development. And the larva, if it is formed, have different food habits than the adult individual. This type of development is known as indirect development, and the metamorphosis can be seen in the indirect development. This kind of indirect development you can see in some phyla such as amphibia of animal kingdom, alright, and primitive animals. Now let's talk about the direct development. In the direct development, what happens? The same procedure will go in the sexual reproduction, the gametic formation, then the gametes will fuse with each other, the zygote will form, the zygote will transform into embryo, and this embryo is going to give rise to adult individual directly. There is no larval stages present, there is no intermediate stages present between the embryo and the adult individual. If there is no intermediate or larval stages present between embryo and adult individual, then this kind of development is said to be direct development. And if in case there is intermediate stage or larval stages present between an embryo and adult individual, then this kind of development is said to be indirect development. Indirect development can be seen in amphibians. Direct development can be seen in us, humans, reptiles, birds, mammals, etc. So this is the basic difference between indirect development and direct development. So we are going to write the differences between direct and indirect development here. In the left column, we are going to talk about the direct development, and in the right column, we are going to talk about the indirect development. So the very first point is that if an embryo is going to develop into an adult individual without involving an intermediate stage, without involving a larval stage or an intermediate stage, then this kind of development is said to be direct development. Also in this, no metamorphosis is seen. No metamorphosis is seen in the animals who exhibit the direct development, as metamorphosis is a phenomena of larva becoming individual. The phenomena in which larva develops into an adult individual, this phenomena is known as the metamorphosis, and if larva is present, then it have different food requirements. So no metamorphosis can be seen in the animals who exhibit direct development. For example, we have aves, reptilia, alright, mammals, and we are also included in the mammals. So I'm not writing humans here because we are included in the class Mammalia. Alright, if we talk about here in direct development, then if an embryo is going to develop is going to develop into an adult individual, not human, into an adult individual by an intermediate stage, that is larval stage, then this kind of development is said to be indirect development. And obviously if the larva is present, it have different food requirements and there will be metamorphosis seen in the animals who are exhibiting indirect development. So metamorphosis, which is a phenomena through which the larva is going to convert into adult individuals. So metamorphosis is seen in them. Metamorphosis can be seen in the animals of indirect development. And the last, third, we have examples such as amphibians. Alright, so amphibians are the example of indirect development, and in case of direct development we have examples such as aves, reptilia, mammals, etc. So this is the complete solution of question number 5. I hope you get the difference between indirect and direct development. Let's come towards the next question, question number 6, that is, what are the peculiar features that you find in a parasitic platyhelminthes? Alright, so first of all, this question is asking the peculiar features of the parasitic platyhelminthes, but for answering this question, to answer this question, we have to know the animals. We have to know the animals included in the platyhelminthes phylum who are parasitic. So we know that we have Taenia, which is known as tapeworm. Also we have Fasciola, which is known as liver fluke. These two organisms included in the platyhelminthes are the parasitic forms. First of all, they are parasites. They are included in the phylum Platyhelminthes. So we have two names, Taenia, which is known as liver fluke, which is known as tapeworm, and the second one we have is Fasciola, which is known as liver fluke. These two are the organisms or members included in the phylum Platyhelminthes, and they are actually parasites. Now the question is asking the peculiar features of Platyhelminthes parasites. So we have some features like they have dorso-ventrally flattened body. First of all, the peculiar features of Platyhelminthes parasites, that is of Fasciola and of Taenia, are they have a dorso-ventrally flattened body. The body is actually flat. The body is flat from dorsal side as well as from the ventral side. So they have dorso-ventrally flattened body. Also they have hooks and suckers for the attachment to the body of the host. Host is the organism or any animal inside which they are living as a parasite. Host is an organism or any animal inside which any parasite is living to get its nutrition. Alright, so they have dorso-ventrally flattened body. They also have hooks and suckers for the attachment to the host organism's body. Also their body is covered with a thick tegument. Their body is covered with a thick tegument which helps to protect them against the digestive juices, digestive enzymes from the which is coming from the host body. Alright, and this tegument which is covering the whole body of parasitic Platyhelminthes also helps them in absorbing nutrients from the host body. So these are the peculiar features of all the parasitic Platyhelminthes, and answer goes like this. First of all, we are going to write that Taenia, which is known as tapeworm. Next we have is Fasciola. It is the scientific name for liver fluke, liver fluke. These are the two parasitic platyhelminthes which reside or live inside the host body organism. Then we have some peculiar features, peculiar features here. Now, what are the peculiar features? First of all, they have dorso-ventrally flattened body. They have dorso-ventrally flattened body. Also, they have hooks. They have hooks and suckers. They have hooks and suckers for attachment. To the body of host organism. Remember, these hooks and suckers are not present for to get the nutrition or to suck the nutrition. As the name is suggesting, sucker. You will misconcept this sucker with the help sucking the nutrition. These suckers and hookers are not for sucking the nutrition. These are for attachment of these parasites to the body of the host organism. Alright. So these hooks and suckers are present in them for attachment to the body of a host organism. Then they have thick tegument around their body. So their body is covered with thick tegument which protects them from the digestive juices or enzymes, digestive juices of host organism. All right. Now this tegument of them this tegument of parasites also helps them in absorbing nutrition, from the host body, So I hope you are clear with the answer of question number 6, that the tinea and fasciola, the common name for tinea is tapeworm and the common name for fasciola is liver fluke. These two are the parasitic platyhelminthes first of all, and the peculiar features they have dorsal-ventrally flattened body, they have hooks and sucker for attachment, they have thick tegument around their body, and this tegument is protecting them from the digestive enzymes, digestive juices from the host organism, and also helping in absorption of nutrients. So this is the complete solution of question number 6. Now we have question number 7 on the screen. What are the reasons that you can think of for the arthropods to constitute the largest group of animal kingdom? Now we know that arthropods alone constituting more than two-thirds species of animal on the earth. We have million of named species on the earth, and among all the million of species, two-thirds of all named species are just insects, including in the phylum of Arthropoda. So animals of arthropod actually constituting more than two-thirds of all named species of animals on the earth, and this is the largest phylum, this is the largest group of animal on the earth. The reason are as follows, that they have jointed legs, they have jointed legs, which provides them high mobility, This is one of the most important reason to have a largest group of animal kingdom, We know that these are the largest group. This phylum Arthropoda of the animal kingdom is the largest phylum of whole animal kingdom, as it consists numerous of species into it. This contains more than 2/3 of all named animal species on the earth. More than 2/3. That is why this is the largest phylum of animal kingdom. Now, one of the best reason of becoming the largest phylum or the most successful animals on the earth and to have a largest phylum is they have jointed legs, they have jointed appendages. Arthropod means jointed appendages. The name they are referred to as arthropod because they have jointed appendages, they have jointed legs. So this is one of the best reason, by which they are actually the successful, and they are having largest phylum in whole animal kingdom. They have jointed legs, they have jointed appendages, which provides them high mobility. The second reason could be they have exoskeleton. Hard exoskeleton made up of chitin substance. They have hard exoskeleton which is made up of chitin substance also, and this exoskeleton of chitin is actually protecting their body. So this is also a reason. This is also one of the reason. And the third but not least the reason, this is the reason that this exoskeleton made up of chitinous substance is actually protecting or reducing the water loss from their body, which makes them adapted to the terrestrial environment. So these are the three reasons of this phylum to be the largest group of animal kingdom, that they have jointed legs which provides them high mobility. Also they have hard exoskeleton made up of chitin substance which protects their body, and this hard exoskeleton protects or reduces the water loss from their body, which makes them adapted to the terrestrial environment. So let's write the answer of this question, that first of all, the arthropods consist 2/3 of all the named animals, named species of animals on earth, All right. Now the reasons are as follows. They have jointed legs, which provides them high mobility. This is one of the reasons. Then the second reason is they have hard exoskeleton. Made up of chitin, which protects their body. Also this hard exoskeleton reduces the water loss from their body, which makes them adaptable to the terrestrial conditions, Alright, I hope you all get the reasons why the group of arthropod is the largest group or largest phylum in the whole animal kingdom. These are the reasons, and this is the complete solution of question number 7. Let's come towards the next question, that is question number 8. Water vascular system is the characteristic of which group of the following? That is porifera, ctenophora, echinodermata or chordata. As we know from our knowledge of animal kingdom that water vascular system, or basically if we talk about the system of water, we have basically two water system, that is water canal system and water vascular system. We are familiar with two types of system, that is water canal system, alright, and the next is we have water vascular system, Now this question is asking about water vascular system. So water vascular system is the characteristic feature of echinodermata, in which the starfish is included. Echinodermata, the animals who have spiny skin, their skin appears like spines they have. So these all are animals included in the echinodermata phylum, and this water vascular system is the characteristic feature of this phylum echinodermata. So water vascular system is the characteristic feature of echinodermata phylum, first of all. Now what is water vascular system? So this system consisting of an array of radiating channels, several tube feet and a madreporite. This system actually looks like this. This system, if suppose we are talking about starfish, then suppose this is your starfish with 5 arms, of course. Then if we consider the water vascular system inside this, then we have a circular channel like this. This is a ring channel or ring canal, we can say. This is ring canal. Then the starfish is having 5 arms. This ring canal have these elongated tube channels, of canals in each of its arm, like this. In each of its arms, it is having elongated canals like this. These are known as canals, radiating canals. Alright. Now, also it is having several tube feet. This is having several tube feet like this. In each arm it is having several tube feet joined with this canal like this. It is having several tube feet like this. And also I have said that this system of water vascular system is actually consisting of an array of radiating channels and as well as several tube feet and along with a madreporite, which is an opening. So here we have a madreporite. This is a madreporite, which is opening to the exterior part of the environment, and these are tube feet. Alright, now what happens in this? They are water animals, they are aquatic animals. So what happens? Water comes inside their body through this madreporite. Water comes into their body through this madreporite like this. The water is coming inside. Alright, the water is coming inside from this madreporite. This water will regulate into these channels and goes to this tube canals like this. and after reaching into the tubes, they will excrete out, they will come out, the water will come out from their body into the environment through these several fine tubule-like structures called as tube feeds. So water is coming out through these tube feeds with a pressure, and because of this water coming from these tube feeds with pressure, this water vascular system helps this individual in locomotion. This water vascular system, when water comes into their body with the help of madreporite, it will go into these canals, into each arms, and this water comes out of the body through these tube feeds with pressure. This system facilitates the locomotion in them. Also, it helps in capturing of food, as the water is coming from outside into the body. It will take some food items, and this is thus helping in capturing of food. Also, it helps in the respiration process. So water vascular system is characteristic feature of echinodermata. Now I have taught that what is water vascular system. The system is consisting of an array of radiating channels, also tube feeds, and a madreporite, in which the water comes inside the body, radiate like this into each arm, and comes out from the body through this tube feeds with pressure, which helps the individual in locomotion as well as food capturing and also in respiration. So this water vascular system is actually helping in the locomotion of them, also helping them to capture the food, and third is respiration. They also helping the individual in respiration process. So I hope you got the answer of question number 8, that what is water vascular system, and also of which phylum the water vascular system is actually the characteristic feature of. And if we talk about the water canal system, this is another type of canal system which is also helping the individual in food capturing, and also respiration. But this kind of system, this kind of water vascular system is found in the members of porifera. That means in the sponges. So water vascular system and water canal system are the two different systems. Water canal system is found in the members of porifera, that means in sponges. And if we talk about the water vascular system, they are found into echinodermata, like in starfish. So this is the complete solution of question number 8. Let's come towards the next question, that is question number 9. All vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. Justify the statement. We have to justify the statement given on the screen, that is all vertebrates are chordates. This is very true. All vertebrates are all vertebrates are actually chordates, and all chordates are not vertebrates. Why this is so? As we know from the classification of chordates, we know that first of all the phylum Chordata. The phylum Chordata is the 11th and the last phylum of animal kingdom, which includes all the animals having notochord present in their body. If any animal is having notochord in their body, the notochord is present in the animal's body, that animal or the group of that animal is considered to be in the phylum Chordata, or the group of animal is considered as chordates. Alright, now I hope it is clear that what are chordates. Chordates is a group of animal inside which they have notochord persistent in their body, notochord present in their body. All these animals are known as chordates. Now we know that Chordata phylum is subdivided into subphylum. It's divided into subphylum, such as first subphylum is Urochordate, then Cephalochordate, and the last subphylum under the phylum Chordate is subphylum Vertebrata. Alright. The subphylum Urochordata and Cephalochordata, together known as protochordate. Why they are known as protochordate? Because they are primitive kind of chordate. They are a primitive kind of chordate. They have notochord in their body. In case of Urochordate, only larva of the individuals of Urochordate have notochord in them. Even they have the notochord in only their tail. The tail is having notochord only, not the notochord is persistent throughout their body. Alright, and in case of cephalochordate, they have notochordate throughout their body, but these two subphylums, Urochordate as well as Cephalochordate, they are considered as protochordate. These two subphylums grouped together, and this is known as protochordate. That means primitive kind of chordate. Then we are left with the third and last subphylum, that is subphylum Vertebrata, which is the advanced type of chordates. What happens in them? They also have notochord, but the notochord is present in the embryonic stage only. In the animals of vertebrate, or the animals, whole animals, the animals which are included in the subphylum Vertebrata, they have notochord in them, but the notochord is present only in the embryonic stage. Once the embryo gets developed into an adult being or adult individual, that notochord is going to be replaced by a bony vertebral column or a backbone. That is why these animals are considered as vertebrate animals. So what is the difference between protochordates and vertebrates? Protochordates have notochord and not vertebral column. And in case of vertebrates, they have notochord as well as they have vertebral column in their body. That is why the statement is justified that all vertebrates are chordates, because all vertebrates have notochord in them, but not all chordates are known as vertebrates, because the protochordate, including the urochordate and cephalochordate, they do not have vertebral columns. So these are chordates. These two subphylums, urochordates and cephalochordates, are chordates, but they are not vertebrates. Hence the statement is justified that all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. So we are going to write the answer of this question, that phylum Chordata includes the animals with notochord present in them. Notochord present in them. Alright, now we know that phylum Chordata is subdivided into Urochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. This is Urochordata, the most primitive type of chordata. Then we have Cephalochordata, and then we have Vertebrata. All of these three subphylums have notochord in their body. Now, if you are starting with the Urochordata, then only larva have notochord, which is present in the tail only, which is present in the tail region. Uro means tail. Uro here means tail. So you can have an idea that why this subphylum is referred to as Urochordata, because Notochord is present only in the tail region of only larva. So it is present in the tail region. Tail region. That is why they are referred to as urochordata, because uro means tail and they have notochord. So they have notochord in only tail region of their larva, That is why they are primitive kind of chordates and are known as urochordata. Now next come towards the cephalochordata. The notochord is present throughout the body. Notochord is present throughout the body, but they do not have vertebral column. The notochord is present throughout the body from, if you talk about the anterior region, their head, even their head region is consisting of notochord. That is why in the presence of notochord is present in their head region. That is why the term, the phylum, subphylum is termed as cephalochordate. If we talk about the vertebrate, which is the third or last subphylum under the phylum chordata, then the notochord is present only in embryonic stage, first of all, only in embryonic stage, and is replaced by bony vertebral column. Alright, that is why they are known as vertebrata, because the notochord of them is replaced by a bony vertebral column. So it is clear that these two subphylums have notochords in them, but the vertebral column is not present in them. And in case of vertebrata, there is the presence of vertebral column in them. That is why the statement given above on the screen is justified now, that all vertebrates are chordates, as this is the subphylum under the phylum chordata. But all chordates are not vertebrates. Because they do not have vertebral column. So I hope you got all the answer of this. Question number 9. This is the complete solution of this. Now let's come towards the 10th question of this chapter, that is, how important is the presence of air bladder in Pisces? Now what is Pisces? First of all, you have to remember what is Pisces. So Pisces is actually a superclass. It is a superclass under the division Gnathostomata, and under the subphylum vertebrata under the phylum chordata. So Pisces is a superclass under the division Gnathostomata. Pisces is the group of animals bearing fins, paired fins. So what are the animals included in the superclass Pisces? All the fishes, without exception, all the fishes on earth are included in the superclass Pisces. Alright, so I hope it is clear that what are Pisces. Now, how important is the presence of air bladder in Pisces? That question is asking the importance of air bladder present in fishes. So first of all, what is air bladder? So air bladder is actually also known as gallbladder, or we can say it is a sac. It is a air-filled sac. Air bladder in fishes is actually a air-filled sac. An air-filled sac present in fishes. Not all fishes, in some fishes. Present in fishes is known as air bladder. First of all, the definition of air bladder is provided now. What is air bladder? It is an air-filled sac present inside the body of all fishes or some fishes, which is known as air bladder. Now, what is the importance of presence of this air bladder inside the body of fishes? So, as we know that air bladder is an air sac, is filled with air, so it provides buoyancy to fishes. If it is present in any fish, then this fish is provided with buoyancy. It can ascend, it can descend in water, or it can even stay in the water currents. This is very helpful. Because of this air sac, this air bladder, the fishes can able to ascend, can descend in the water, also can stay in the water with the help of this air bladder. It provides buoyancy. So, this air bladder provides buoyancy to the fishes, all right, which can help them to ascend, descend, even stay in the water current, in the water currents. Alright, but the interesting thing about air bladder is, it is air bladder providing buoyancy to fish and helps in ascending or descending in the water to fishes, and also they help in the to stay in the water for fishes, but it is not present in all the fishes. It is found in the member of your bony fishes, your osteichthyes. We have superclass Pisces. Pisces includes all the fishes, but in the superclass Pisces we have two classes, chondrichthyes and osteichthyes. Chondrichthyes is a class of fishes which include all the big cartilaginous fishes, or I may say the fishes which have endoskeleton made up of cartilage. And there is another class included in the superclass Pisces, that is osteichthyes. This class osteichthyes includes all the fishes who have endoskeleton made up of bone. They are comparatively smaller in size. Alright, so if we are talking about the superclass Pisces, it have two classes in it, that is chondrichthyes and osteichthyes. The chondrichthyes fishes like sharks, the bigger fishes, and the skeleton which is made up of cartilage in them, these fishes or chondrichthyes class does not have air bladder. That is why they have to swim constantly without sinking. If they stop swimming in water, they will sink because no air bladder is present in them, and that is why they have to swim constantly throughout their life without sinking. But the small fishes, the freshwater fishes, or the fishes, bony fishes we call them, bony fishes or the fishes, the endoskeleton in which it is made up of bones, they can stop their swimming, they can ascend in water, they can descend in water, they can stop swimming in water currents because they have air bladder in their body. They will not sink because they are provided with buoyancy with the help of their air bladder. So the bony fishes or the fishes included in the class of osteichthyes, they have air bladder and they cannot sink because they have air bladder. They are provided with buoyancy. But if we talk about the another class chondrichthyes, they do not have air bladder. They have to swim constantly without sinking because they are devoid of air bladder. And this is the complete solution of question number 10. So now we are going to talk about question number 11. What are the modifications that are observed in birds that help them fly? So we know that the modifications have been done in birds during the evolution which helping them to fly. If we talk about what are the modifications in birds which help them fly, so birds have undergone structural modifications or adaptations for flying. We know that birds can fly. Birds actually, most of the time, birds fly and also they walk. So for the flying purpose, several adaptations, several structural adaptations have been made in birds during evolution which help them to fly. If we discuss the modifications, what are these modifications? So first of all, they have streamlined body. Birds have streamlined body which provides them rapid and smooth movement. Alright, we know that if we talk about the bird's structure, it looks like this. So this shape is actually known as streamlined body. They have streamlined body, and this streamlined body or streamlined structure of their body actually provides them rapid and smooth movement. So this is one of the characteristic or modification which present in bird which actually help them to fly. Also, they have feathers. And these feathers provide them insulation. They have feathers and these feathers provide them insulation. Also, their forelimbs are modified into wings. Their forelimbs are modified into wings which helps them to fly. They also have their hind limbs which provides the function of walking, perching. Alright, so they have forelimbs for their flying purpose and they also have hind limbs for their walking purpose. They also have a special kind of bone that is hollow from inside, and this hollow bones of birds are actually known as pneumatic bones. So all the birds are having pneumatic bones to reduce the overall body weight which can facilitate easy flying or easy flight in birds. So these are the modifications which have been done in birds to facilitate the purpose of flying. If we talk about answer, then the several modifications have been done. Several modifications have been done in birds. Several modifications have been done in birds to facilitate the flight in them or fly in them. Alright, so several modifications have been done in birds to facilitate the flight in them. What are these? First, if we talk about, they have streamlined body. They have streamlined body. Alright, streamlined body they have, which provides rapid means fast, and smooth movement means easy movement. So they have smooth and easy, smooth or rapid fast movement because of the presence of these streamlined bodies. Alright, so this is the first modification or adaptation which have been done in birds to facilitate fast and smooth movements. They have streamlined body. Also, they have feathers on their body. They have feathers on their body which provides them insulation. Which provides them insulation. So for insulation, they have feathers on their body. Also, they have pneumatic bones. pneumatic bones which are hollow from inside, and the presence of pneumatic bones inside the body of a bird actually provides their reduced weight. This reduces the weight of bird, which can facilitate easy or smooth flying. So pneumatic bones they have, pneumatic bones are present. Pneumatic bones are present in birds to reduce the body weight. As we know that if any organism is heavier, then it will find difficulty in flying, and if any organism is having reduced weight or is lighter, so it will easily can fly. So they have pneumatic bones which are hollow from inside, and overall because of the pneumatic bones present in their body, the overall weight of birds is actually being reduced, which helps them in flight purpose. Now if we talk about next characteristic or the next adaptation or modification, they have air sacs. They have air sacs which supplements their respiration. So they have lungs, yes, they have lungs, but in addition to lungs, they also have air sacs. Air sacs are present in birds' body, which facilitates or supplements their respiration. And the last but not least, they have 4 limbs modified into wings. They have 4 limbs. 4 limbs are actually, 4 limbs are modified into wings, which facilitates flying in them. Alright, they also have to, because they are belonging to vertebrates, because they are belonging to the superclass Tetrapoda, they are having 2 pair of limbs. But 1 pair of limb, that is 4 limb, is actually modified in them into wings, which facilitate or provides the functioning of flying. And also they have hind limbs. They have hind limbs which facilitates walking in them, So all these are the modifications or adaptations which have been done in the body of birds, which actually helps them to fly. So these are all are the modifications, and this is the complete solution of question number 11. Now we are going to talk about question number 12. Could the number of eggs or young ones produced by an oviparous or viviparous mother be equal, and why? If they are equal, and why? And if they are not equal, then why? We should give the reason why if they are equal, why they are equal in number, and if they are not equal in number, then we have to give reason why they are not equal. So if we want to answer the question that eggs or young ones produced by oviparous animals or viviparous animals are equal or not, so clear answer is no. The eggs produced by oviparous and the young ones produced by viviparous are actually not same. As we know that oviparous animals are those animals which do lay eggs, do not give birth to young ones. They do not give birth to young ones directly. They actually produced eggs. Alright, their eggs are actually exposed to environment conditions. Their eggs which are produced from the mother or oviparous animals are actually exposed, or they are prone to the environmental conditions as well as predators. The young ones developing inside the egg is developing in outside the body. They are not developing inside the body of a female or any oviparous animal. They are prone to environmental conditions and predators. So they have more chances that their eggs will die. Their egg or young ones will die. So to overcome this loss, they produce large number of eggs as compared to viviparous animals. Whereas if we talk about the viviparous animals, we know that they are capable of giving rise or giving birth to young ones directly. They are not producing young ones through egg, and the baby or embryo is getting developed or developing inside the body of a female or any viviparous animal in a safe condition. This young one or this egg or this embryo is not exposed to the environmental conditions or harsh conditions or predators, so they have more chances of survival as compared to the young ones of oviparous animals. And hence, because of this, the viviparous animals make or produce the individuals in less number as compared to oviparous animals. So if we talk about the writing of this answer, then no, first of all answer will goes like no, the eggs or young ones produced, or the young ones, eggs and the young ones produced by, no, the eggs or young ones produced by oviparous and viviparous animals are not same. They are not same. Now we have to give the reason behind it, why they are not same in number, why the oviparous animals producing eggs and the viviparous animals producing offsprings are not same in number. We know the reason that the oviparous animals producing eggs, the eggs produced by oviparous animals, the young ones or the eggs actually basically provided or produced by oviparous animals are well exposed, or prone to environmental conditions and predators as well, so they have less chances, very less chances of survival. They have very less chances of survival. So because of this, to overcome this loss, they produce large number of eggs and as compared to the viviparous animals. They have less chances of survival, so the large number of eggs are produced. Large number of eggs are produced by oviparous animals. And in case of viviparous, this case is about oviparous. Now if we talk about the viviparous animals, then we know that viviparous animals do not produce eggs, they produces offsprings directly. They give birth to offsprings directly. So viviparous and also viviparous give birth to young ones also, but viviparous develops, the baby actually develops inside the body of viviparous animal in a safe condition. So the baby or embryo develops inside the womb of a female or of a viviparous animal and in a safe condition. So they have more chances of survival. They have more chances of survival. They have. And because of this, because they have more chances of survival as compared to the survival chances of offsprings produced by oviparous animals, the eggs are produced large in number by oviparous animals, and the young ones produced by viviparous animals are less in number. So they produce less number of young ones as compared to the eggs produced by oviparous animals. So this is a complete solution of question number 12 here. So now we have question number 13 on the screen. Segmentation in the body is first observed in which of the following? And we have 4 options given on the screen, that is Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida and Arthropoda. So we have to select one phylum, we have to select one option among these in which the segmentation property was first observed. So we know that answer is Annelida. C option is the correct answer for this, because Annelida, which is involving earthworm and leeches, these are the organisms inside which the segmentation property was first observed. What is segmentation? The clear differentiation in their body, or we can say the repetitions of some organs at least. So this is the segmentation property, and the segmentation property is also known by another term which is known as metamerism, and they have metameres which are arranged in their body. They have metameres arranged in their body, and the property exhibited by them is known as metamerism or segmentation, which can be found in the members of Annelida phylum. And this property, segmentation or metamerism, was first observed in the Annelida phylum or earthworm, or in the members of Annelida for the very first time. We know that kingdom Animalia starts with the phylum Porifera. Porifera is the first phylum of animal kingdom. Then we have Coelenterata. Then we have Cnidaria. Then we have Ctenophora. Then we have Platyhelminthes. Then we have Aschelminthes, and after Aschelminthes we have a phylum known as Annelida. So in the phylum of Annelida, which includes leeches, earthworm, etc., the segmentation property or the metamerism properties was observed in the members of Annelida phylum for the very first time after all these phylums. So this is a complete solution in the of question number 13, and the answer of this we have option C, that is Annelida. Let's move on to the next question. Match the following. So we have given all these options and we have to match all these terms with this. So in column 1 we have option A, operculum, and in this we have Ctenophora. Then we have Parapodia, mollusca, scales, Porifera, comb plates, reptilia, Radula, Annelida, hairs, Cyclostomata and Chondrichthyes. Hairs, Cyclostomata, Choanocytes, Mammalia, gill slits, Ostrichthyes. So now we have to match the following. So first, if we check the first option, operculum, then operculum is the covering of gill slits present in fishes. And which kind of fishes? We actually have two kinds of fishes or two classes of fishes, that is Chondrichthyes and Ostrichthyes. Chondrichthyes fishes are the group of fishes which have endoskeleton made up of cartilage, and Ostrichthyes fishes are the group of fishes which have bony skeleton. So in Ostrichthyes, in which we have bony fishes, they have gill slits, and their gill slits are actually covered by an covering which is known as operculum. So the bony fishes are included in a class of fishes, that is Ostrichthyes. So the answer will go like this is Ostrichthyes. So operculum will match with this Ostrichthyes. The next option we have B, Parapodia. Now what is Parapodia? Parapodia are the lateral appendages in annelids. Annelids, we have a phylum in animal kingdom, just after Aschelminthes, annelids phylum we have. So in that phylum, earthworm, leeches and nereis kind of organisms are included. Among all these organisms like earthworm, leeches, parapodia, the parapodia, which is an aquatic form or aquatic organism or worm in phylum Annelida, have lateral appendages known as parapodia, which helps them in swimming. So if we talk about the B, parapodia, then parapodia are the lateral appendages found in the aquatic member of Annelida. So where is Annelida? This fifth one is Annelida. So parapodia will match with fifth option, Annelida, which is a phylum including segmented worms. Then C, we have scales. Scales found in reptilia. Reptilia are the terrestrial animals. Alright, they are terrestrial animals included in the superclass Tetrapoda. Now reptilians have scales. They have scales. So scales, C, their skin is scaly. So C will match with fourth option, reptilia. Reptilia, which is a class. Then we have comb plates. Comb plates are actually found in the members of Ctenophora, alright, which is the third phylum of animal kingdom. The members included in Ctenophora have 8 rows of comb plates which are ciliated. That means if you talk about pleurobrachia, the diagram which is given in your NCERT is having 8 rows of comb plates like this, which are ciliated, have cilia on these comb plates. Alright, now this presence of ciliated comb plates in the members of Ctenophora, they help, these comb plates, ciliated comb plates actually help in the locomotion to these members. So comb plates are found in the members of Ctenophora. So it will match with the first one. D will match with the first one. Comb plates will match with Ctenophora, which is the third phylum of animal kingdom. Then we have E, that is radula. Radula is a rasping organ which helps in food gathering in the members of mollusca. Molluscans have radula, which is a rasping organ in their buccal cavity, and this radula helps in food gathering. So this radula, which is a rasping organ, is found in the members of mollusca. So E, mollusca will match with the radula will match with mollusca, as this is the organ found in the buccal cavity of molluscans. So radula will match with the mollusca, second option, mollusca. Then we have hairs. Hairs are found on the skin of mammals. We are mammals, and all of the mammals included in the animal kingdom are having hairs on their head as well as on their skin. So our skin and head is actually covered with fine hairs, and this hair is the characteristic feature of mammalia. So this will match with mammalia. Then hairs will have mammalia, as they are present on the head and skin of mammals. Then we have choanocytes. Choanocytes are the special cells. Choanocytes are the characteristic cells present in the members of Porifera phylum of animal kingdom. So choanocytes are the characteristic cells found in the members of Porifera. So it will go with Porifera, the third option. So choanocytes, which is the characteristic cell, will be found in the Porifera, and it will go with the option third, Porifera. Then we have last option, gill slits. Gill slits without operculum is actually present in the member of chondrichthyes. Chondrichthyes and ostrichthyes, we have two classes of under superclass Pisces. Pisces, the superclass which includes all the fishes. All the fishes are included in the superclass Pisces. Now, Pisces have been classified into two categories, two classes such as ostrichthyes and chondrichthyes. Osteichthyes includes all the bony fishes. All the bony fishes have gill slits which is covered with an operculum, and chondrichthyes includes all the big fishes or cartilaginous fishes which have gill slits, but their gill slits are not covered with any kind of covering or operculum. So this gill slit will go with cyclostomata as well as the chondrichthyes. So last option, gill slit, will go with chondrichthyes. Alright, so now we have completed the question number 14, and this is the complete solution of this. Match the following. Operculum will have this osteichthyes, parapodia will have annelida, scales will have reptilia, then comb plates are included in the members of ctenophora, radula is the rasping organ found in the members of mollusca, then hairs are the characteristic features of mammalia, and then choanocytes are the characteristic cells found in the members of porifera, and the last gill slits are found in the members of chondrichthyes as well as cyclostomes, but their gill slits are not covered with any operculum. Gill slits are also found in the members of osteichthyes, but their gill slits are covered with an operculum, and in the case of cyclostomata and chondrichthyes, these are not covered by operculum. So this is the complete answer of question number 14. Now we are moving on to the last question of this chapter, that is question number 15, and with this question we are going to complete this whole NCERT discussion of chapter Animal Kingdom from class 11th. So let's move on towards the last question, that is question number 15, and prepare a list of some animals that are found parasitic on human beings. This question is asking to prepare a list of some parasites or animals which are living as parasites on human beings. So we have a lot of organisms, lot of animals which can live as parasite on human beings. Some of them are such as acanthoamoebiasis. If first we talk about acanthoamoebiasis, then acanthoamoebiasis. This is a disease which is caused by tiny amoebas. These are the tiny amoebas which can affect eye, skin as well as brain of human beings. Alright, then if we talk about the Plasmodium. Plasmodium is the second member in our list which is living as parasite in human beings and causing diseases. So Plasmodium is a member of protozoa, and this Plasmodium is actually the causative organism for malaria. But malaria is transmitted via female Anopheles mosquito. This is important to remember that if we talk about the malaria disease, then malaria is caused by a parasite which is known as Plasmodium, and this Plasmodium is included in the Protista, which is a protozoan. Plasmodium is the causative organism for malaria, but it is transmitted through, if we talk about, it is transmitted through female Anopheles mosquito. Female Anopheles mosquito. Then the next organism, if we talk about in animals which can cause disease, it is of platyhelminthes. We know that Taenia which is known as flatworm, is actually responsible for causing diseases in human beings, and it goes into the human body via contaminated food and water. So again, third member we have is Taenia, which belongs to platyhelminthes. Then again, next in the category of roundworms or escalminthes, we have Wuchereria. which is causative organism for filariasis. It causes swelling in lymph nodes. So Wuchereria is the member of Eschelminthes, which can cause disease in human beings as well. So this is the list, a short list of all the animals who can live as parasite on human beings and cause diseases in them. Now with this we have completed all this chapter of NCERT discussion, and this is all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.